audio shakes Israel's establishment. The voice? Major General Aharon Haliva, former intelligence chief. His words on Gaza's staggering death toll are not of remorse, but a warning meant for generations. As the war nears 2 years, this revelation could change everything. In a development that has shaken Israel's already fraught political and military establishment, leaked audio recording of former Israeli military intelligence chief Major General Aharon Haliva has surfaced. In the leaked audio, Haliva stated that the killing of tens of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza is essential and unavoidable for the sake of future generations.
For everything that happened on October 7th, for every one person on October 7th, 50 Palestinians must die.
Broadcast by Israel's Channel 12 on August 15th, the recordings capture Haliva speaking in stark, unfiltered terms about the war in Gaza and its heavy civilian toll. While the remarks are striking, what adds weight is the speaker himself. Haliva was not a marginal figure. He was the head of Israeli military intelligence on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched its deadly assault on southern Israel. That attack left around 1,200 people dead and more than 250 kidnapped.
העובדה שיש בה 50,000 הרוגים בעזה היא הכרחית ונדרשת לדורות הבאים. אוקיי, שחטתם. אוקיי, השפלתם. אוקיי, שחטתם, רצחתם, הכל. המחיר, אני אמרתי של המלחמה, על כל מה שקרה בשביל אותו, על כל אחד בשביל באוקטובר צריך למות 50 פלסטינים. זה לא משנה עכשיו ילדים. אני לא מדבר מתוך נקמה, אני מדבר על זה מתוך מסר לדורות הבאים. אין לעשות, הם צריכים מדי פעם נקבה כדי להגיש כדי לכם. אין ברירה בשכונה מופרעת הזאת. אין ברירה. זה שישבתי במשרד מישהו כמה חודשים אחרי תחילת המלחמה.
The recordings suggest that Haliva viewed the massive Palestinian death toll in Gaza as not just a byproduct of war, but as something he believed was historically necessary. He references the Nakba of 1948, when around 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled during the creation of the State of Israel, and appears to argue that another wave of mass suffering is required to deter Palestinians in future generations. Channel 12 did not identify the person Haliva was speaking to, nor the exact date of the conversations. What is clear is that the remarks have surfaced at a moment when Israel is under intensifying international pressure over the conduct of the war. Haliva, in a written statement responding to Channel 12, sought to frame the comments in context. He said they had been made in a closed forum and described them as
fragments of partial things, which cannot reflect the full picture, certainly when it comes to complex, detailed issues, most of which are highly classified.
But the political impact is already spreading. Hamas issued a blistering response saying,
"The recording confirms that crimes against our people are high-level decisions and official policy from the enemy's political and security leadership."
The war in Gaza, which began on October 7, 2023, has now dragged on for nearly 2 years. According to Gaza's health ministry, more than 62,000 Palestinians have been killed since the conflict began. That figure includes more than 60 deaths in the past 24 hours alone. Another 156,230 people have been wounded. The ministry's tallies do not separate combatants from civilians, but the United Nations and international experts regard its figures as the most reliable available. Israel disputes the numbers, but has never provided its own count of civilian casualties. Particularly alarming are the figures surrounding aid distribution. The health ministry says at least 1,965 Palestinians have been killed while seeking aid from convoys or at distribution sites. On August 17th morning alone, 7 people were killed while trying to access aid. Amnesty International is among the organisations that have accused Israel of not merely failing to protect civilians, but deliberately creating the conditions for famine. In a damning report, Amnesty said,
Israel is carrying out a deliberate campaign of starvation in the occupied Gaza Strip.
The organization went on to accuse Israel of systematically dismantling Palestinian society. It is the intended outcome of plans and policies that Israel has designed and implemented over the past 22 months to deliberately inflict on Palestinians in Gaza conditions of life calculated to bring about their physical destruction, which is part and parcel of Israel's ongoing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. For Palestinians on the ground, though, the debate over terminology is overshadowed by daily survival. Reports from hospitals describe malnourished children, overcrowded wards, and a collapsing healthcare system. Food scarcity, aid bottlenecks, and the destruction of farmland and infrastructure mean that large parts of Gaza are teetering on the brink of famine. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government has been pushing ahead with controversial plans to occupy Gaza City. The move has drawn increasing international condemnation, not only for its humanitarian implications, but also because it suggests no clear long-term strategy beyond military control. Meanwhile, thousands of Palestinians fearing an imminent Israeli ground offensive have left their homes in eastern areas of Gaza City, now under constant Israeli bombardment, for points to the west and south in the shattered territory, Reuters reported. Israel's push to take control of Gaza City has sparked concern both internationally and domestically, with tens of thousands of Israelis staging some of the largest protests since the war began, demanding an agreement to halt the fighting and secure the release of the 50 hostages still held by Palestinian militants in Gaza since October 7, 2023. An Israeli armored advance into Gaza City could force hundreds of thousands more people from their homes, many of whom have already been displaced multiple times since the war began. In Beit Lahia, a war-ravaged suburb on Gaza City's eastern edge, shelter manager Ahmed Maizen told Reuters that
995 families had recently fled south. 1.5 million tents would be needed for emergency shelter. Israel had permitted only 120,000 tents into Gaza during a January-March ceasefire.
According to the UN Humanitarian Office, 1.35 million people in Gaza were already in urgent need of shelter materials as of last week. As the war approaches its 2-year mark, one truth is undeniable. The toll on Palestinian civilians is staggering, and the political fallout for Israel is deepening. Whether Haliva's leaked words are viewed as candid realism or shocking brutality, they will likely shape perceptions of this war for years to come.